If the Canelo Golovkin fight doesn't take place in September, veteran promoter Bob Arum would like one of his fighters to step in and take Canelo's place facing Golovkin, and that is his WBO super middleweight world champion Gilberto Ramirez. I'm going to quote Uncle Bob directly here. He says, "The fight Gilberto wants, assuming he's successful in this April 22 fight, is against Triple G. And I would agree to fight that fight winner take all. I think Ramirez destroys Golovkin the same way he destroyed Arthur Abraham. There's a great Eddie Houseman poem about an athlete dying young. An athlete's life is relatively short." So those are the words of Uncle Bob, and the last bit of the quote there was in relation to Bob Arum's belief that Triple G is showing his age. He saw the Danny Jacobs fight and detected, in his opinion, that Triple G is slowing down and that he's maybe there for the taking. I'm now going to quote Gilberto Ramirez directly. He says, and he's talking about the possibility of fighting Golovkin here. He says, "I would have to use all of the skills I have against him. It's a really, really tough fight. It would be really interesting for all the people, for all my team, for everybody." All right. So those are the words of Gilberto Ramirez, also talking about this Golovkin fight. Now, does Uncle Bob Arum really believe that Ramirez can beat Triple G? Ramirez is, to be fair, a big super middleweight. He's 6'2". He's a decent puncher. He's a good boxer. But he certainly hasn't faced the elite level at super middleweight yet. We don't really know how good he is. Would his size, boxing ability, and everything he's displayed so far in his professional career be enough to at least give Triple G problems? Perhaps you even think Bob Arum might be onto something. Or maybe it's just a classic case of a promoter hyping up his fighter because he's trying to make money out of the situation. Bob Arum doesn't currently have anybody else who could fight Triple G. So he's trying to push his guy Ramirez into the picture. From a business perspective, I guess that makes sense. And Ramirez, according to Bob Arum at least, really wants the fight and keeps asking for the fight. So let me know what you feel about this, people. Does Bob Arum actually believe what he says when he thinks Ramirez will destroy Triple G? Or is it all hype? Let me know how you feel about Ramirez. Would him versus Triple G be a fight you'd be interested in? And what weight, if it did take place, would it be at? Triple G has talked about moving up to 168 specifically for certain fights and then coming back down to 160. So he is willing to do that. Would he do it for Ramirez, or would he make Ramirez come down to 160, or would it be a catch weight? Who knows? Let me know how you feel about everything I've talked about in the video. It's happening. I'm out.